And then there's another thing, the life of the children themselves. When I first learned about it, I started gathering information from around the world, and there's a lot of information because the 12 tribes are scattered all over the world. There are 4 communities in the United States, 1 in Canada, 2 in South America. 1 was in Australia, but this one migrated to Japan. 1 was in France, but now is moving to Spain. Then 1 is already settled in Spain, and they are everywhere. Then there was 1 in Germany, but it fled to us, and there is another Zebulon, actually still in the south of Britain. These are all their main communities or tribes, and they each have a few more communities. They also own a chain of restaurants called Yellow Deli. If you look it up, Yellow Deli information anywhere, YouTube, you will immediately realize that this is a sect that makes people work there absolutely free. It enslaves them. Then there's the question of the children. Well, alright, let's talk about the children. Some Czech experts described that the video only showed once, twice, thrice, or at most 4 continuous paddling on the buttocks. No, it doesn't work like that in those tribes. You can easily find all this information because the founder, Eugene Sprix, was quite open about how children should be raised. He wrote and had manuals made, which include parts of directions from other leaders. The 12 tribes that are currently worldwide, they're very open about how you're supposed to treat the children, and they've even made some manuals. There are 2 parts, one is much longer, the other is crazier but shorter, and it's just included in that. The first volume is about 350 pages long, and it explains in great detail, theologically, why you have to do it, why God wants you to do it, why you're a bad parent if you don't, and why He doesn't love your child if you are not going to do it, and why you have to do it if you want your child to be good. The discipline is described clearly in those manuals and in all the testimonies of former members. It's just crystal clear. They already start disciplining 6-month-old babies. As soon as the baby resists anything, you have to spank him. If he cries a lot, then that means he is a defiant individual, so you have to spank him even more. Then you have to immobilize him. We asked some experts and they said something like, well, swaddles. The fact that swaddles are used on newborns for a few weeks because of their reflex has nothing to do with the sect's use of immobilizing. They wrap the infants up such that they can't move their hands. They immobilize them like that on purpose to submit to the will of their parents and the community, and it's specifically described. It begins in children up to 2 years old, which is another problematic aspect. It starts with being. The child still has to learn when he already has a will. When you already discipline, up to 6 years old, parents mainly do everything. From 3 to 5 years old, even close strangers or actually everyone in the community can do it. However, it should mainly be the parents. Then it becomes harder when the child has to confess his sins. The child has to willingly bow down, he has to endure the pain. And then you always ask the child, are you tired? Have you had enough? The child just has to say yes to be in peace. But in the video recordings, I was staring at it, and after everything I heard when I watched it, I really admired the courage of those kids, those 5-year-old kids dragged into a basement, and they just start beating them with a rod, asking them if they've had enough. The child says, no, I was really staring, and he'll say it maybe several times, and then he'll just say, yes. And there are cases where he'll say yes, but the mother will say, but you know that you were angry, that there are still remnants of that impurity in you, and she hits him again. These shots are really hard to find, just like other promotional videos where they defended the 12 tribes. In the case of a family in a sketch, it's all already censored, you can't find it anywhere, so I haven't been able to get the complete footage yet. If you have it, please send it to me.